Uh,
What? What? What are you doing?
well, I've been having, the whole situation I've had for the past couple of weeks. I wanted to make sure I didn't, cause, I didn't want to infect anybody in the audience and you. So I put this mask on, trying to follow CDC guidelines. So, uh,
That's 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 not how any of this works.
oh, Ricky, you're a beautiful man, but you ever, I, you have computer viruses, right? Computer
Let's just
viruses.
let's just start the show. It's the Something About Something podcast with your host, Mr. Mike
And
Shilley.
the man who lights up my life every day, Mr. Ricky Poe. Do I still have it on my ear?
You do still have it on your ear.
Let me.
If you missed the first
Oh,
90 seconds of our show, you'll have to go back and watch it later.
yeah. Or just ignore it. Oh, my
Or
goodness.
just ignore it.
Woo.
Jason Hamilton says, thank
Jason.
God you have your mask on.
Man. I will say one thing tonight. If you, I'll say it a little bit later. Hopefully we'll have some more folks show up. But, how you doing, my friend?
I am doing fantastic. Much better than you were for the last week or so.
Pretty much. It's, been an interesting couple of weeks.
Yeah. Do you want to share the story now, or you want to see if we get some more of our regulars
Some of our
on?
regulars. Yeah, we can see if we get some of our regulars on just to see if maybe they thought we stopped the show because of 2 weeks in a row, but
Possibly.
there's a lot of happy
we'll see.
people out there now. Yeah, so
We made your life brighter by not having the show.
thank you, Todd. Todd made a comment that made me laugh
Nice.
when he posted on there. Mike went viral.
Oh, yes.
So I thought, oh my goodness, that's good stuff.
Yes.
Yes, so
Sangha, you dead man.
yeah, Sangha man. Oh, it's the past 2 weeks. I will say one thing. It's I don't know how many people talk about the experience. For me, it was kind of like having the flu without having a fever. And so for several days, I was just tired. I was cold. I was, chilling, the whole bit, So
Chilling was chilling.
I knew you were going to say that. I thought about doing a podcast called that, but
Chilling was chilling.
yeah, but
Chilling.
I have a hard enough time getting
Chilling
people to
with
watch this
chilling.
show. So, yeah. So it was, I think it was yesterday or a couple of days ago. I finally tested negative and really tired and ready to. I wanted to do the show tonight because I missed it for the past couple
Yeah.
of weeks.
Yeah.
If-
That
if-
first time we missed it.
Yeah.
For those who aren't up to speed, the first night we missed, Mike actually was at the you were actually at the clinic getting
Yeah.
your test done
Yeah.
when we should have been doing the show.
Exactly.
That would have been interesting. We could have brought you on
I could
via
we
the
could.
phone. I didn't even think about it.
That
we
would
could
have been great.
We could have done the show
And when you
while you
start-
were in the parking lot
And we
of the
coulda-
clinic.
And we could have done like a betting pool, Did a betting pool. We just
Could
had
have set up a poll to
just
see.
do a GoFundMe and just do a betting pool to see. Thank you, Whitney. We could have done. That would have been awesome.
That would have
Okay.
been
Yeah.
would have been amazing.
Okay,
A Deadpool.
Yeah, exactly. A Deadpool. $5 if he's positive. $5 if he's negative. So right now, my biggest thing, I'm drained. I'm very tired. If my screen goes black, and you hear that, that's probably because I fell asleep. So
So tell us a little bit about what's the process like. You found out that you could have been exposed by someone, right?
we had a guy.
Kind of walk through this whole thing for me.
Where I work at, there's, we have a large population of people. It's a college, and somebody in my department really sick, and he was gone for a week, and he was going to go in and get tested. I don't know where he did this test, from Uganda or something, because it almost took like a week for him to get the results. Well,
That's crazy.
By the time he got the results, thank you, Vance. By the time he got the results, I think it was like 4 days later, something like that. And so we thought, oh my goodness, we're around this guy all the time. He's in the break room.
Yeah.
And he basically told me, he said to a point he didn't think he was going to make it. It's just all the symptoms were so bad. And exactly. Yeah, the situation was so bad. He had the worst end of it. Now, compared to him, I was really blessed because flu-like symptoms, but not the extreme that he was going through. So anyway, back to the story. He ended up, we found out he was positive. So that same evening, I went, and a couple of colleagues of mine, we went to get tested. And the place I went to, it was like a 20-minute turnaround. So and then sure enough, oh, you're positive. And usually when I hear positive, it means something uplifting and positive. Apparently positive in the medical profession is a negative. So I was never good at algebra. So
most positives in a medical sense are negative. Now, my wife actually had a COVID test not too long ago.
Yeah.
Because she was admitted to the hospital for a few days, and when they admitted, actually that was one of the reasons we didn't have the show, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
When as they were admitting her, they made her do the test. Now was yours the same as hers? She said, it's kind of like the flu test. They shove a Q-tip up your nose to touch your brain. And she said they did both nostrils.
They did that, but the test they do now, at least where I went, they don't jab it all the way up to your skull. So it wasn't like that. So
it wasn't quite as bad.
Yeah, I think they have a process for that. Yeah. So, but yeah, the whole week I was in, a separate room, wearing my mask, went to the restroom, wearing my mask, everything, sanitize.
Podcast wife was serving you food on a silver platter.
And she loved that the whole time. Right till the very end, my wife was like, I love serving my husband.
I'm so waiting for Tiffany to put the comment
blessed.
here in a minute.
I'm so blessed that I have a husband that I can serve and take care of when he's sick. Oh
my goodness.
It didn't take long for her countenance to change. So anyway, so that's why I wanted to get tested quickly, because I don't think I was going to die from COVID. It was going to be from the hands of my wife. So anyway, brain activity. Yeah, that's true. They still figured out that I was positive.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was a very long week. But I wanted to share something with her. My sister, she's big organic supplements, so she kept dropping stuff out on the yard and stuff like that. Oh my! There's the podcast wife.
Hey, Tiffany.
Oh.
Anything he said in your absence was.
I hopefully that wasn't a delay. Hopefully it just went out like that. And,
she's saying it was the truth.
Yes.
Now I just have a question for Tiffany, though.
Yes.
Now, if things changed, how much of it was Tiffany, and how much of it was Mike is just that kind of guy trying to take care of him?
I want to block her right now. So, yes. Yeah. So my sister.
Hey, Weldon.
Hey, Weldon. Mr. Man.
Wants to serve me. Good luck. I don't know how you find that.
Yeah, I don't want to. I have my own issues. So, my sister, who big on organic supplements, and she was just bringing them to the front of the door. It was awesome. I don't know, maybe that helped. But there was one handy dandy item that she got me, and she figured, probiotics are pretty good
Oh,
for
yeah,
you,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So she got me this probiotic, and even though it's for kids, she told me it's a good probiotic. Now, it's I'm gonna may not be able to say it, but it's like Good Day Chocolate Probiotic. And the thing about this, it looks like and tastes like a dark chocolate
Okay.
M&M. I mean, it's quite tasty.
It's green.
It's yeah, they can't afford other colors. They
That
just
is
have
a
the green.
slightly off-putting color.
Well, it's a green M&M. So
Tiffany pleads the fifth.
yeah.
Good call, Tiffany. Good call.
So these things are pretty tasty. You're supposed to have one a day, and so I would take one a day. A couple days ago, I was feeling a little bit better, and I took one. A couple days ago, I wanted a snack, so I thought, well, I'll take two. Maybe I'll take five of them. One day, actually, I had really about six of them. I didn't realize it because I went to go watch Parks and Rec with my wife, and I had like five of them in my hand. I figured they're like M&Ms. Okay, now I need to read what it says back here.
I don't know that I want to know that. This sounds
Okay.
like a stupid news story waiting to happen.
Well, my life is a stupid news story ready to happen. So on here it says, "Who just won the favorite parent award? You did. You're bringing home a chocolate supplement that your kiddos will love, and a probiotic that promotes healthy digestive and will keep things moving and grooving. Remember,
Oh.
I have been grooving and moving for the past couple of days." And I got the plumber's number right next to the stool. So anyway, yeah. Oh, we just lost 10 people. Okay. So anyway.
Yeah, everybody left.
Well, that's a true story. I hate to admit that. So
We can't see. This is interesting. I just figured this out. You and I cannot see when people post anything other than straight text.
yeah.
So Tiffany while you're telling this story, Tiffany posted a poop emoji.
Are you serious?
But I can't show it on screen because it just shows a blank line because the system only shows text.
So just imagine yes, there's poop on that. So anyway, so we can get on with the show. I want to thank everybody. Thank you very much for your prayers, your good thoughts, your vibes. Right now I'm doing much better. I'm just really tired. The doctor said just, rest for the rest of the week before you go off and do any hiking or anything like that, or back to work and all that good stuff. So
Well, I'm glad you're back.
I am glad to be back too. So
It's good to have you.
thank you, sir. So what do we need to do next? What do we...
I think we should kick off some stupid news. Because I think we know what the people want. The people want stupid news.
We know
And
what people want.
we know what people want.
Yeah.
We know what you people want.
Yeah.
You sad, sad people
Yeah.
that watch our show. I'm so sorry.
Well, let's go ahead and let's kick that off.
I think we need to do stupid news.
Well, let's kick it off then.
All right. It's the stupid news with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
But it's convenient what we just talked about.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The title is "Scientists Say They Went Cuckoo Due to Laughing Gas from Penguin Poo." I wish I had some penguin music here, but I do not. This is apparently
Play March of the Penguins.
That would be awesome. Apparently,
Penguins.
Penguins. Scientists have reported getting high on noxious oxide emitted by penguins' poo. That is actually
High?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It says penguin poo. Yeah, I mean, really? I mean...
Oh, wow, man.
That's right. And yes, penguin poo. Apparently, the levels of noxious oxide are more commonly known as laughing gas given off by a colony of feces with about 100 times higher than in the fertilized field. One of the professors said it's truly intense. The amount of nitrous oxide exhumed was enough to send someone completely, he used his medical term, cuckoo. He said it is truly intense. He said not least because of the nitrous oxide is 300 times more polluting than CO2, he explained. He said, he said it's the basically excrements of seabirds and bats. It's in the same equivalent of that. He said you begin to feel ill and then get a headache and all that good stuff. So, and he said nitrous oxide canisters are often sold legitimately for producing whipped cream. and I had enough here. But anyway.
Hey, Todd Tolton said, chimed in here. Hey, Todd, if this is the first time you're watching the show, welcome. We do all sorts of weird, nerdy, goofy things. We're doing stupid news right now. But, okay, so, Mike, you talked about penguins.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever seen the interview with Benedict Cumberbatch where he talks about a documentary that he narrated about penguins?
No, I did not.
Oh my gosh, it is the funniest thing in the world. At some point, he loses all control of the capability of saying the word penguin. And he says it every way possible except for penguin. He says penguins, penguins. It is, you gotta find it. It's
he can get away with that because he's British.
But he's like, in the interview, he's like, I don't know what happened. I'm thinking he was on something. But
that would be a
Mythbusters episode. That would be
exactly.
cool. Somebody said something about didn't Futurama do something about penguin poo? I don't know. I don't remember that. But
more than likely,
that doesn't mean they didn't. They did a lot of stuff.
You're a Futurama guy too.
I am, but I don't remember. I love that show. But
so it's a good show. I like
penguins. Yes. Man.
I want to take a shout out to Terrence. I don't see him tonight. I hope everything's
I know,
good.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know, Terrence, you are missed.
He was here last week,
Yeah.
saying when I popped on for like 5 minutes. So what else we got in the stupid news?
Well,
bin?
this is from several years ago, but it's one of those things I thought it was so good. Let's dig it back up and put it on the news. And I don't know this. I hope it's still not going on, but apparently in Helsinki, the terrorists kidnapped Ronald McDonald statue in Helsinki. A group calling itself the Food Liberation Army has claimed responsibility for kidnapping a statue of the McDonald Foods chain mascot Ronald McDonald and has threatened to execute the figure if their demands are not met. Apparently, the statement is apparently the group posted a video on YouTube wearing masks, holding the clown statue with a bag over its head, demanding that the world's largest food chain answer questions about its corporate responsibility in food production. One of the terrorists said, "We love burgers, fries, and McDonald's, but we no longer can watch in silence as the food we love is being destroyed and brought to a shame because of the greed and indifference." One of the terrorists speaking in Finnish. The man said the statue, which was taken from Helsinki's restaurant back at, I won't say the day, it was a while back, by two men posting as maintenance personnel. They said they had a week to meet the demands or the clown was going to get it. And I guess, as far as I know, McDonald's hasn't changed any of their policies, so
I'm
I'm
guessing
betting
not.
the clown is dead.
Yeah, I'm guessing that clown did not make it.
No, he.
That's funny.
Yeah, here comes the clowns. The next one is we're going to end
the clowns. They're
the next one.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay. So the next one is and this finale.
We've checked to see if Burger King is behind this.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
Well, this next apparently is about a man named Jamie Gage. He lives on Riggles Road for 10 years. He recently found himself in a dispute with the town of Wilton over his plans for a workshop, which the town says aren't up to code. So they have an issue they've issued to stop his work order. Gage said, "I just want to live in peace and finish my workshop." Gage said he's eager to do what's needed, but he says the town has been ignoring his communication. So However, however, he placed a wooden statue he placed in front of his yard was hard to ignore. He carved out a 7-foot penis out of pine trees
Oh no.
and placed it in his front lawn.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
He says, oh my God. He says people passing by laughed and he put up a sign encouraging them to take pictures. He was a little surprised when state troopers showed up that Thursday saying that they've gotten a complaint and they had to take it down. Gage complied to the state police and moved the statues to his backyard. He since returned it to the front yard and placed it behind a sign with the words "adults only" sprayed, which makes things better.
So much better now.
But that was after he was arrested. The troopers handcuffed him, charged him with a public display of offensive sexual material.
Goodness.
And basically they said this is trying to protect the issue's potential exploitation in a sexual manner, blah, blah, blah. One thing this reporter has gotten out of this is that not even Viagra could keep his wood up.
That was bad. That was bad.
Okay. And let's end that right now. Here we go.
This has been the Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Shilley. Dude,
I'm gonna pay for that.
you got to make it another at least 38 minutes.
I'm glad we haven't got to the point where you can smell people online. Got wood.
Yeah, lots of wood jokes. Lots of wood jokes going on.
I'm sure.
There's a that's what she said joke in there somewhere.
I know there is.
Oh my gosh.
So,
well, okay, so do we want to go to the topic of the day?
okay.
Or do we want to talk about the most exciting news ever?
Let's do the most exciting news ever. I mean, let's do that.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't find the image. Okay, I found it. There's too many
We got too many images all over the place.
images to use for the show. I can't find anything. The most exciting news ever. Bing!
That's right. That's right. Apparently, Michael Keaton is in talks with DC on playing a kind of a mentor role in The Flash. Since then, I haven't done any more digging around to see if this has transpired to be a real deal or not. This better become a real deal because...
Oh my gosh, I so want this to be a thing. I want this to be a thing.
I have a feeling that maybe our PS5 show is going to go in the toilet because let me tell you what here.
Wait, is it going to go in the toilet or are you about to go to the toilet?
All I know is when your screen takes up one screen, we know where I'm at. But,
well, you know, some people are still back on the wood, pine nuts. And Jason wants to start a new Deadpool. How long will Mike, Jason has you down for 20 minutes.
yeah, that's pretty good. I think I can handle that.
Vance, I am so excited. I so want this to be a thing.
This could totally, if DC, and I would forgive DC with this. I can totally forget about that. I could totally just, this is okay for substituting Darren with another Terran on Bewitched. I could look the other way if they act like Ben Affleck was not even there, from the Justice League, and they surround the series with Michael Keaton. I could forgive him for that. That would be brilliant.
Oh my goodness. What I think, this is my prediction. My prediction is that they're going to do some kind of multiverse Flashpoint kind of storyline, and Michael Keaton is going to have like a 5-second scene.
That's sad.
I think that's what'll happen. That's my prediction. I would love for him to be like the old Batman.
Yeah.
You know, just
The emphasis on Bruce Wayne.
yeah, emphasis on Bruce Wayne. Maybe we've got a what's the cartoon Batman show?
Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond. You know, old Batman with a
Yeah.
young replacement. You know, that would be brilliant, and I would love it. I don't know if it'll happen, but
Well, it's like what is Michael Keaton doing? I mean, I love Michael Keaton. I think he's talented. I love his work. He's
yeah,
done some really good stuff. But I would love. I mean, I would love for him to be the center because he could be the glue, easily be the glue. Yeah, that's true.
yeah. We're not gonna follow Mike there. We ain't going there.
But I think it would be a great. I think it'd be like a test.
Oh, like see, put this out there as just to see how much buzz it gets. Oh, I think this is either complete BS
Yeah,
or it's a thing,
yeah,
and he will be in it. My prediction is he won't be in it very long. It won't be very much of it.
yeah. See,
There'll
that's
be very
sad.
little Michael Keaton.
That's sad. Vance made a good. Yeah, Vance made a comment. Past the mantle, and that would be good. Past the mantle.
Yes, that would be brilliant.
I mean that's the thing. Of course, again, Michael Keaton, my Batman generation.
Yeah,
I would love Michael Keaton to be in the movies. If they did another Justice League. I mean, basically play Bruce Wayne. He's the backer. He's the provides the technology. It's kind of the Tony Stark of the Avengers. Tony Stark
Yeah.
of DC.
yeah,
Of the Justice League. So
yeah.
anyway, that would be. I
Yeah,
hope it's more.
now that could be really cool
Yeah.
if they do like a Flashpoint kind of deal where they multiverse the DC EU, and then when everything gets fixed at the end of the Flash movie, certain things are all mixed up,
Yeah, exactly.
and we've got an old Michael Keaton Batman training a new Batman replacement. And we've got we still have our Wonder Woman because she's awesome. And
Yeah.
we've still got our Aquaman because he's pretty dang awesome as well.
Yeah.
And maybe we get some actual storyline
Exactly.
behind Cyborg, because I think
Yeah.
he's a great actor and I think he's a great character. But that would be great. It'd be a great way to work in other DC comic characters as well.
I really
Bring
do
in
think so,
Martian
yeah.
Manhunter.
Yeah.
Bring in, I don't know, I knew who, Hawkman, Hawkgirl, something like that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
One of those. You could bring in people really easily with that kind of idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this could be a good opportunity. I honestly pay Michael Keaton whatever amount of money he wants. I mean, to get him going. I really do think if Michael Keaton, there's enough of us DC fans who know
Yeah.
Michael Keaton, and we all know, Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, Michael Keaton would play the best Bruce Wayne. I think he doesn't have to go out there in tights. I mean, he is just
Yeah.
an entrepreneur. He is the supplier. He is the chairman of the board of the
Right.
Justice League. And I can totally see that. And you're right. They could bring in that's where he could slowly build the rest of the DC Justice League. Because, it grew,
Yeah.
it
What do they
recruited-
call that in DC? They got a word for it. In Marvel, it's multiverse. What do they? Is it
Elseworld?
Elseworld?
Yeah,
Elseworld. That's
Elseworld.
what they call it.
But and they're doing that kind of right now. I mean, you see most of all the DC movies are coming out, from Todd Phillips' Joker to
Yeah.
I mean, it's all different universes, even though it's not really meant to be in a multiverse. There's never going to be an intersection there. But having Flash, I mean, what a great opportunity to make that happen. Flash, and it's,
absolutely.
and it's believable because it's part of the canon of Flash.
Yes.
So
Jason Hamilton says he thinks we're giving them too much credit.
yeah,
See, I'm a little. I kind of agree with that. You know that DC Warner Brothers specifically, you know, they're in it for the money. Yeah, so's Marvel. You know, but Marvel figured out a way to make it good and profitable. And if Warner Brothers can just change just a few things to make it really good, it will be more profitable.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. And I think if they want, I mean, this would be a moneymaker.
Any thoughts about the new Constantine in talks?
I
like
yeah.
Hellblazer. I like Constantine as a character.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll come into the DCEU as a real. You know, there's been talk of the Justice League Dark and things like that, and I think that could be cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they'll bring him into the main universe.
Well, right now they brought him in. I mean, he's pretty live on the. I mean, he's on the WB version of that Elseworld. I think he's played a character. He plays. Which show is that? He had his own show for a while, and I don't think he did very well. And then he kind of teamed up with the the Heroes of Tomorrow.
Heroes of Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know everything. I mean, you know, that's another question too. Like you have a show like the Green Arrow. You know, would they ever take that into the big screen? Of course, not with the same actor, but they're doing it with Flash. So there you go.
Yeah, could be hard to tell.
Well, we're going to get ready for some talk about technology. Some of you may not be gamers, and that's fine. You know, on the show, we like to talk about everything, some comics, movies. And with technology, you know, there is coming up a new generation of consoles, and one is the PlayStation 5. And there you see that is actually their new logo.
Look at them trying to be all Apple-y.
Yeah, I know. That's what it looks like. The Apple all he did is take down the Apple sign and logo,
just
slapped up the PS5
slapped up
Sony. And Sony. That's what they did, basically in a heartbeat. From my understanding, this is if you look at, there's two models that they're going to produce for the PS5.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and I think it's what they did for the Xbox Series, or originally what they did. If you look right there, of course, you can lay it on the side. You can also, I think there's another one where you can stand it up. Now, if you look, keep it right there.
Laying it on its side just looks stupid.
It looks like a panini press. But but if you look at it, almost kind of reminds you of one of those Cox. I mean,
it
Cox
looks like
cable,
it looks like my
router.
My modem router.
I mean, you don't have Cox cable here. It might be Verizon or whatever. But if you look on the right one, it has a CD player, and on the left is a CD player. On the right, it doesn't have one.
Oh, okay. So that's where there's two different versions.
Yeah, Xbox did that with Xbox One and the Xbox S, and basically one is just totally digital. It's all, you know.
So all digital downloads.
Yeah, and so the other one is the CD, which is probably going to cost a little more, but I can't imagine it costing much more because we're talking about a CD drive.
Yeah, but, you'd think, but you know, Sony gets proud of their stuff sometimes.
Yeah, and they
$500 CD.
And they learned their lesson. They learned their lesson back with the PS3 because, you know, I mean, the PS3 was way overpriced during that time. I think it was like $500 for a PS3 when it came out, even maybe a little more than that. So the guess right now, they're probably going to be around, I don't know, the price range will be, I think they're saying right now, maybe $399, which is a lot, but it's for a new console, not so bad.
I mean, if you were buying a PC that had comparable specs, you're going to pay way more than that.
Yeah, yes, right here. The PS3 went for $599 for the PS3.
Oh, wow.
So they're thinking the PS5 is going to be $100 less, but there's no confirmation on that.
So when you get your PS5, or you're going to get your PS5 headphones?
I don't know about.
Look at that. They have their own headphones. Really?
I know. Look at that.
And what is that? A remote?
I guess so. It looks like a Wiimote.
Well, I was gonna say either that or there was that like like a TV remote to like watch streaming stuff. Do you know what that thing is on the far right?
That, you know what? I wonder if that's like a motion. You know how they
Motion capture. Could be.
Yeah,
Could be.
because I think they're
Like a
still
little optical camera,
yeah, I think they're gonna still support that. You know, I
IR
don't know-
camera or something.
Yeah, I don't know if many people use that, but they have. I guess they have it as a selection. So anyway, it's interesting. I think the big thing they're talking about is backward compatibility. And
Heard about that.
And the situation with I think when PS3 came out, they were backward compatible with the PS2. I mean, you could use a PlayStation 2. You could put the CDs in it. It would work. When the PlayStation 4 came out, people assumed they were going to have backward compatibility, but then the problem is that Sony was trying to push what they call PS Now, which was a kind of an online streaming service for games. So all the old games that you used to own that was on the PS3, you would actually have to subscribe to the online streaming. So you couldn't play your PS3 games on your PS4 games, and it didn't go very well. And so
Talking about digital downloads.
I
I'm with
agree.
you, Vance.
I agree.
There is no reason for media anymore.
If you think about it, Vance, I mean, let's say you buy a DVD or buy a game on a disc. All it is an unlock key to download everything from the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so really you don't own the game. It's you may be able to pass it off to a friend and they do that, but the reality is, as an owner, you already know that, hey Terrence, how you doing, my friend? Thank you, sir.
Good to see you, Terrence.
Good to see you. Thank you. Glad to be back. But yeah, I mean, I agree with Vance. I think at one time it was a big deal, especially with the and what's sad about that, the Xbox One had a lot of flack because they weren't going to put in a Blu-ray drive in there. They were going to just do digital download content, and Sony blasted them for that.
Yep.
And blasted them, not people not being able to use their old CDs and stuff like that.
And now, like, that's the same thing with Apple. When Apple got rid of their optical drive, everybody was like, oh my gosh, what are you thinking? There's no optical drive. Nobody has optical drives anymore.
Yeah, Vance, that's the thing. And people don't think about that these discs, they can decay, they can break.
Yep. I have on my big desktop, my video editing desktop, I have a Blu-ray DVD burner combo thing, and it was noisy, so I just disconnected it.
Yeah.
And I have never needed it since.
Yeah, my PC here that I have, I didn't order a CD for it. I mean, a disk drive for it. If I need one, I can get an external one. But anymore, unless you have really old programs, which probably is not going to work on the new operating system anyhow, mostly everything is online subscription, or you digitally download it. What kind of like like the same thing with Blockbuster. They still do. I'm amazed that they still do DVD movies and stuff like that. They still have that offer, but that's going away. I mean, look at Blockbuster. That's what
you've got great games on Steam, all download.
Yeah.
I'm a World of Warcraft player. I actually haven't played in months at this point, but I'm a World of Warcraft player, and it's all download. I mean, I never have to. It's funny. You can go to the store and you can buy this box.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't have to. I could just download the whole thing and be done with it. And I don't know what Todd means. I don't know what this means. What are you? I saw this comment. I'm like, I have no idea what this means.
Todd, I want you to post random posts throughout the show, because I have found out following Todd that this guy has a great sense of humor. It's yes. Yeah, when he posted and said I went viral, even in my deathbed, I was laughing. So that was
Okay,
awesome.
Todd has one legit comment here. No, I'm not saying Todd. You have lots of legit comments you could make. This one, I think, this is relevant to the conversation. People that have crappy internet, the disc might be better.
You know what? And like we got two Todds here. Todd Tilton, you're right. But right now, they're not thinking about that. Publications, like Steam. Same thing with Rockstar. They have their own game engine for Red Dead Redemption. I'm talking about on the PC. Every couple of days, it has to authenticate up to their servers, or you can't play it. It's the same thing with Steam.
Yeah.
If you want to play a Steam game, Todd is the show today. Here, let's get here. How did he do that?
How do you do that?
So that was a zero turn.
We should invite him onto the show to tell his story.
Todd, I would love for him to be a guest on the show. We can have a third person.
I was going to say, we can invite somebody.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it. We could totally invite somebody during the show if they had a good mic and a camera.
Todd, it's an interesting story. Me and my wife, we acquired some land out in another part of Oklahoma, and we were going to get a long tractor. And my wife, for the longest time, it was her dad's property, and they use a zero turn out there mower, and she was very uncomfortable with it because they would have heels and stuff like that. And she said, she said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to buy a very large lawn tractor because it's about, I don't know, 10 acres, but there's probably 6 acres to mow, 4 acres to mow. So, but yeah, so you just proved my wife's point, Todd.
Terrence.
Todd is the Florida man. Todd is that's what, when we do a Florida man update, we need to bring Todd on because he can give us the perspective.
There you go.
That's funny. I don't even know where we're at now, but
I don't know.
Todd, hey, his show he has right now.
Vance makes a comment that even if you got a disc, you still have to have internet capability most of the times. It's a deal.
Yeah, seriously, and that's the thing. You just can't get away from it. There was
no, you really can't.
Back in the days, guys, those who remember, the cartridge. Okay, once the cartridge came out, if there was a bug, it couldn't fix it. It was done. But you got what you paid for. You owned it. For a while too, with games, early days of PC, you bought a game, it was all on the game. It would install the game, part of it on your PC, on your hard drive. Now, like for instance, the game Destiny 2. I mean, basically all you're buying the CD. Basically, it's a code, authentication code saying, I
remember one of the old Sega, probably Sega Genesis. It was one of the first flat ones that had a CD player, and you'd have to wait for the CD to spin up for the cutscenes to play.
Oh, I know. I remember
everything.
Yeah. And it was.
Yeah.
And you had to turn up the TV to even hear what they were talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. So it's interesting. I mean, PlayStation, they learned from their mistakes. So at first, at the Sony event, they were saying that probably up to 100 titles of their best titles are going to be backward compatible, but there was an update about a week ago saying we're looking at up to 1,000 backward compatible games.
Wow.
Which that's a big catalog, and they're wanting to focus on the bigger catalog. What's interesting how they're doing this, and I think the problem with the PS3 was the first batch that came through, and it was the first one I had too. The first couple of that console. Mm-hmm. I call it, let's say generations, within that generation, iterations, let's put it that way. They had a chip soldered on there that was basically a PS2 chip. So that chip was the brain to run the PS2 games, while the other chip was all about the PS3.
Okay.
it was so expensive to do that. Eventually, on the PS3, when they started close to the end of the life cycle, they took the chip away because it was just too much money and they weren't making anything off of it. Well, Sony now with the PS5, yeah, and so many games are, yeah. With the PS5, they're doing this. It's all software, some type of technology they're using.
It's
where,
all emulation of some sort.
yeah, and they're not even saying that. Let's see here. I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add to this.
I just wanted to know why their controllers wearing suspenders.
I don't know. Maybe there's something underneath there you don't want to see.
I don't know. Every
but
time I see the controller, I'm like, why is it wearing suspenders?
But this is all sensors. I mean,
Or
it's
as
all
my
sensor-
grandpa would say, overhauls.
Okay, what do you think? Put that back up there. And what do you out there? What do you think about this controller? I mean, to me, I like
Doesn't
the
strike
idea.
me as super different than
Well,
a lot of what I've been seeing lately.
Well, see, it's flat. It's sensor. It's
What do you mean
not-
it's flat?
The buttons?
Those aren't buttons?
Yeah, those are
They're not
kind-
physical
no. It's
buttons?
They're sensors.
Oh.
Now, that can be. I like the way it looks, but how easy would it be to slip and hit another button?
Really
that's my
easy.
thought.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
it's-
would be a thing.
I mean, is it tactile? I mean, is it raised enough where you can kind of get a feel for the buttons? I mean, I like the look of it, but is the functionality of it when you're playing, is it going to cause some issues? That's my only concern. Especially you got sweaty palms, sweaty hands gliding through there, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know why I went there. Let's move on. I think we're going back on the wood story. But as you can tell, of course, this is a comparison between the new Xbox
Yeah.
and the PS5.
And we've got a chart here.
Yeah, this is basically.
I just doing a quick overview. Am I wrong that on paper it looks like the Series X is just slightly more powerful
and the deal
overall?
is, yeah. But the thing is how are they integrating it? How are they optimizing it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because you can have let's see here where it says, okay, 2 core at 3.5, and then you have 8 cores over an Xbox 3.8. But how do they have it? How do they, see, it has variable frequency on one and the other one with SMT, which I'm not for sure what
Right.
technology that is. But there's
Is 3.8 the boost?
Yeah. Yeah.
And is 3.5 the boost, or is 3.5 the?
I think 3.5, when they say variable speed, it can go, I think it may go up to 3.5. I think for the Xbox, it goes to 3.8. But for whatever this technology, SMT, I have no clue what that is. I guess it runs at a 3.6. But if you look at it, the comparisons are pretty close.
Yeah, it's not. There's not a whole lot of difference in power in GPU and bandwidth. It's really close.
And it depends how the publishers. It comes right down to you can make the fastest machine in the world, but if the publishers don't take advantage of it, and that's the thing, if the publishers don't take advantage, and that was the problem with the PS3, is that because the Xbox 360 was so popular, and they ended up, I say outselling, at least in the North America.
Yeah.
Publishers were placating to the lower specs versus the PlayStation 3 specs. Only first parties of PlayStation 3 took advantage of the technology.
Yeah,
so,
and I question that. That's one of those. Are they the only ones that took advantage of it, or were they the only ones that had access to it early on?
That I don't know.
Because that happens a lot, where it's like, okay, you're going to be a AAA title, and you're going to have access to the extra features and power that we're not going to give everybody access to, so that you have a spectacular game, but you have to commit to us only.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Most publishers, they don't want to commit to one console because that's
Yeah.
and usually the console company like Sony or Microsoft, they will offer a difference. You know, they say, hey,
Yeah.
we'll pay you this much, you know, for the difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you think about it. Uncharted was a PS3, PlayStation exclusive. Gears of War was an Xbox exclusive. So, you know, they won't cross over. But yeah, I lost the bet. Yeah, I lasted. Well, you don't see my seat right now, but but yeah, you know, they went portable and PlayStation. I love the problem is PlayStation makes incredible devices, and the PlayStation Vita, I had one and I loved it. The problem is it just didn't get any traction because it had a fight against, like, you know, you had mobile phones. You know, people were playing games on mobile phones. That was becoming more popular. And
Yep.
the biggest Vita killer was Nintendo's DS,
Yeah.
and that was the biggest thing.
Yep.
Most, you know, so. but
Well,
Vita-
speaking of
yeah.
exclusives and publishers, why don't we look at a few games before we wrap up the show?
Okay.
So, tell me, you had a bunch of different games here listed.
Well, let me.
You had like 3 that had like special call outs. Are those all PS5 exclusives?
Well, if
Or are
there's
those just
one-
games you wanted to talk about?
Well, I mean, I was just talking about. Let's see here. Well, go ahead and throw them up. Tell me, maybe I can figure out what it is.
Okay, well, number 1 was Cyberpunk.
This is my This is going to be cross-platform. This
Okay.
is basically Mike's. Basically, what do we want to call it? Mike's. We got to have a name. Mike's most anticipated games. Yes, let's do that. Cyberpunk is one I've been looking for a long time. Yes, Keanu Reeves plays in it as a part.
Awesome.
It's a cyberpunk first-person shooter.
I would drive that car all
I
day
would
long,
too.
every day.
And it was supposed to come out. It was slated for July, and it was pushed back to later in September. I basically,
COVID.
yeah, basically, Red CD Projects is behind that. Those are the same people who did The Witcher.
Okay.
An awesome company. Everything they do is excellent, and they do so much for fan service. So that's one game I'm looking forward to. The next one is what's the other one?
I've
we
got
have
Ghost next.
here? This one is a exclusive PS4 title. It will also come out for the PS5 also.
Okay.
Ghost of Tsushima is basically you play a villager who town basically, you know, the old story of, you know, his people get slaughtered and he comes against the samurais. And look at how beautiful the graphics are in this.
Is this going to be an open world game?
It's going to be open world to a point where you have different missions.
Okay.
There is some gameplay, so check it out on YouTube. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to do that at this
Yeah,
time.
they'll shut us down.
They'll shut us down.
Stupid Facebook.
But you can tell it's beautiful. It's a Japanese landscape. Yes, Vance. It's just a beautiful game, and it comes out in July. I don't remember the date. I think it
is July now.
is
so.
July, so it's probably closer getting to the middle of July. So that's a game I'm totally has piqued my interest.
And this next one, the name is just killing me.
This one,
Destroy all humans.
okay. This one is a remake of one that was done for the PS2 and the Xbox back in 2016, and they did a remake. And you know, I love the game so much, and now they're going to have it on Steam. And of course, they're going to release it for the consoles too, graphics and all that, and add some new stuff. But this reminds me of Mars Attacks. I mean, look at in this game. You can go ahead and go through in this game, you play as this alien, and you basically.
I love the fact that the alien looks completely fake.
Yes.
But the backgrounds look beautiful and real.
Doesn't it? Exactly.
It's so funny.
This is a base off of the 1950s, kind of a spoof of the 1950s flying saucer alien types of sci-fis.
What's
right
with
now,
the cow? I don't understand what the cow.
he has telekinetics. He's lifting the cow up in the air.
Well, there's another picture of him and a cow too.
Well, you know how you've heard about probing, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
You can probe
I knew
cows in
you were
this
going to
game.
go. I knew you were going to go there.
You can fly your saucer around, destroy the rural areas, city areas.
So this is another open world kind of deal.
Yeah, it's open world, but
Let's
it's a
see, is
funny
this-
game. I mean, telekinesis. You can basically command citizens. He looks like Howdy Doody. Look at that. He had his little Western shirt. But what's really cool about it, it has this nostalgic 1950s kind of sci-fi type of movie, and it reminds me again of the movie Mars Attacks, and yeah, it looks fun. Yeah, so it's not a AAA title. It's going to come out for like $29 on Steam, and I'm assuming it'll also be that price for other platforms. But it just looks like a fun game. It's coming.
It does. It does
looks
look
like
fun.
it's coming out on, I think I want to say July the 29th, or a little bit earlier than that. But it just looks like a fun game to play, especially if you love to probe things. So, and right now, after eating that candy,
I ain't
probiotic.
probing. I ain't
Yeah.
probing anything
Ooh,
anywhere near you.
yeah.
So
That
the
stuff
other
will
one,
probe you.
the other thing, Star Wars Squadron.
This is the game that I'm looking forward to the most, being a Star Wars fan. It is basically shut up and take my money, please. Basically, you play either on the the timeline on this is interesting. This is the timeline of this game is actually about the same timeline as The Mandalorian. It's
Okay.
right after the Battle of Endor
Okay.
and the Young Republic. So you're basically in between. Yeah. So you have the First Order, which is the current series, and then you have after Endor. So between Hope and the First Order. So
Can I just say that that guy on the right got some hips going on? I don't know what that deal is.
I don't know. He does have some hips there,
I
doesn't he?
don't know what that is.
I hope his cockpit. Well, anyway. So anyway, so it looks really good. I think it's you can play co-op against destroyers. I mean,
It's going to be a first-person shooter, space
It's a space
flying
sim.
around.
Yeah, basically
Space sim. Okay.
space sim. It has the whole. Those are the fighters that you'll be flying, and as you can tell, these fighters are basically it's the if you look at them, they're
It's
mainly
what is that? A-wing,
yeah, but they're
X-wing, the Y-wing, and
they're the
I don't know what that one in the back is.
yeah they're the newer models, the ones that you've seen at the
Okay.
last, because the X-wings and the new movies they look different. They look the same except for the wings,
Yeah.
and so. But anyway, I'm looking for this because, I used to love this game called X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
And I hope this game goes very well. I think it's going to be like $39, so it's not the full
I
six-
was
Yeah.
a Rogue Squadron guy on on the old Nintendo.
that was a great
Ooh,
game.
can you fight as the bad guys? You
Yeah,
fight as the
yeah.
Empire?
You fight as
First
the
Order?
Empire. There is going to be a story mode in it, but most of EA games like this are going to be mainly going to be PvP, but also you can
Okay.
also play PvE, where you have your buddies, you're flying in a squadron.
I love the
Yeah,
crap. What's it called?
Wookiee.
No, what's a Wookiee? It's not
No,
a
it's
Wookiee.
a Ewok.
The little Ewok stuffed toy there on the dashboard. That's pretty funny.
Let's see here. I got there.
Pilots wanted.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I really do. I'm looking forward to that. That was just announced like about 4 weeks ago, so that is on my radar. So let's see here. I had a. Let me see.
Vance says it's October. It's when they're talking about that coming out.
Okay. Okay, that sounds about on that. Yes, that's exactly. That looks right to me. Well, come on now.
So then the other thing we have, We had some other games, and I think these are actual PS5 games. Is that right?
Yeah, and I mean it's not a stellar lineup. I mean they're going to. I mean, they're
Are
gonna,
these supposed to be the kickoff titles?
Yeah, and if you know anything, if you most of your launches do not have stellar games. A lot of times they'll promise a really stellar game and then it gets delayed. So
Yeah.
you go buy the console and you realize, oh, the game's going to be released next year. So some of the games on here is not very stellar. There's a couple of them I like. It's this looks really good.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah, going for Miles Morales, going on his storyline. So I think that's going to be good. I think they may end up tagging that because right now they have the Spider-Man that's out now
Yeah.
for the PS4, and I think that might be an add-on. I don't know if that's going to be standalone or not. There's another one called Horizon Dawn. Gran
whoops.
Turismo. Now, Gran Turismo, that's a popular
Sorry,
one.
I clicked on the wrong
No,
one.
no, that's okay. We'll just go ahead and I'll follow your lead here. So,
Okay.
Gran Turismo 7. I mean, I'm if you're a big racing guy, this has been a staple for PlayStation for Sony for a long time.
Have you seen some of the rigs people are building for driving sims?
I have not.
Oh my goodness. People are like, I mean, they're spending more money on the rig for their driving sim than probably they spent on their console. It is ridiculous what I've seen. You know, full blown racing seat with and then they build out a place to mount their steering wheel and a full set of pedals and I mean it's like sitting in a real car.
I got okay. Hey, if I had the money, I would do that with with like a X-wing fighter. Have my.
Oh, now that would be a thing.
I mean,
that. To drive a car, nah. I could just get in my real car and the graphics are better.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's true.
Speed,
that's true.
The feel of the speed isn't quite the same, but the graphics are better. The feedback from the steering wheel is more legit.
If you slam into another car or a side rail, I mean, you can live through that on a game console versus in your own vehicle. Depends. I don't know.
Depends. That may be what you need after eating those probiotics.
Yeah, extra strength. So anyway,
so what else we got? You said Horizon.
That's a popular title that was for the PS4. I guess this is a continuation.
That is an awesome photo. Why do I feel like the game's going to look nothing like that?
Actually, the game looks really sharp.
Okay.
You get a chance, the one that came out for the PS4, and that will give an example how a publisher or a developer will take advantage of a console when it's a first-party commitment. And this is one of those games that, if you have a 4K television and you got it hooked up to a PS4 Pro, you're going to see, man, this looks awesome. And I can't imagine how it's going to look for the PS5. So
cool. Then we got Godfall.
Honestly, I have no idea about this. It was on the list.
It's just one of the launch titles.
It's just one of the launch titles. So,
Ratchet and Clank. That's been a thing for a while, right?
Yeah, and that's been a Sony staple. Mainly a platformer for the longest time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been a Ratchet and Clank fan, so it's not really my thing. But it's one of the titles coming out at launch.
Okay, so when I was loading up the images, I totally misread this one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what kind of game is Spay?
Are you sure it's not Spade?
I was like, it was a picture of a cat, and I just
this game,
out of the corner of my eye, I saw Spay. I was like,
you play a disturbed veterinarian that goes across town, and you spade and neuter
random cats.
Yeah,
dogs.
so it's a family game. You have a mobile vet shop in a van, and you drive around.
Oh my god!
It's basically Grand Theft Auto for cats. So There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's too much.
So
I have no idea.
It's Stray. You know nothing about
nothing
Stray.
about it. I know
I just think it's funny. It's a cat game.
it's a cat game. It's probably more to it, but
If you love cats, you should definitely play this game, I guess.
I don't know. Not really. I wouldn't anyway. Exactly. Cat
Too far, exactly. Oh my goodness.
I don't know what else to go
The
from
things
here.
I see. You guys got to imagine. Mike puts together this list of images, and I had to get them all in there just as fast as I can. So I like half look at them, and sometimes I just catch it out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, "Wait, what?" I had to look at that one twice.
Like I said,
totally thought it said Spay.
actually, I would buy that game if it called Spade. So I think I would buy that one with VR goggles.
Oh no.
By the way, that's a big thing on the Squadron for Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
VR support.
Really?
VR support.
PS5 is going to be VR capable.
Yes.
Ready, plug in,
Yes.
ready.
It's supposed to work with the current VR, but I
Current
can't see
VR rig. Okay.
Yeah, the current one that they have, the PSVR they have, but honestly,
Thank you, Vance. We
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
And
We do it all for you guys. Absolutely.
just for you. So anyway, I think they're going to have to upgrade their VR because some of these newer games and newer titles, they're going to need more visual support and upgrade.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
So I'm just I'm ready for the full heptic suit like Ready Player One.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Speaking of just random, if you guys are Ready Player One fans, Clive, crud, I can't remember his last name, the writer of the book. In November, Ready Player 2 is coming out.
Really?
So, yes. So, follow up to the book. Yet to be seen whether it will become a movie, but with the popularity and how much money the first one made, I can't imagine Spielberg turning it down.
Yeah. I don't know. So, are we going to commit ourselves to a segment next week?
What segment?
Uh,
Something we talked about earlier this week, and I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Oh, Britannia.
Oh, yeah.
Hold off on it.
Let's hold off on that one. Let's say this. We'll give you guys a sneak peek. So we are considering doing a show, an episode all about British comedy, British TV shows.
Tribute to
British comedy. If for those of you who grew up with the Britcoms on OETA on Sunday nights, that would be me and all the old people in the room. Tiffany says it's a good idea. I'm not sure if Vance is speechless about the Britcoms. Nope, Vance is in. Yep.
Good.
So we're considering an episode. I'm just saying, let's not promise it next week.
Well,
Allons-y.
allons-y.
That's French.
Hello.
I'm pretty. Hello.
I love you. Hello. That was
Hello. That is a show.
That was a show. Oh, we're gonna show our ages here.
And then there is the French. Todd wants us to do it.
We'll do it then.
There is the episode of the IT crowd where they call tech support and it's the French guy.
French guy.
Hello.
Yes, the IT guy. The IT crowd is my favorite among many of them. So.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So. All right, yeah, we are definitely going to do a British comedy show. We're just not. I don't want to commit to next week.
Yeah. We'll
maybe
see.
it will be. Maybe it won't.
Who knows?
You'll have to tune in to find out.
And help us put in the comments especially, after the show is over in the comments. We're going to probably do a survey on the Something About Something Facebook page, because we want to know what everybody wants. Is there any topics you would like for us to talk about, or all of us to talk about? Specific topics, that we could carry the show with. Kind of like we did talking about a BBC special.
Yeah.
We talked about maybe doing some of the most weirdest, strangest heroes conceptions that ever came up.
Yes,
Superhero
the
conceptions.
dumbest superheroes or villains ever written into existence.
Yeah.
And I'll throw one out there just to prime the pump. Arm fall off boy.
Yes. I mean, that's so. Yeah. That's a real deal.
It's a real thing.
That is a real deal.
It's a real thing.
What was Bouncing Boy?
Yes, Bouncing Boy. Terrence wants more Star Wars, please.
I do too. And
we got to have a good reason to do another Star Wars, because we did a whole Mandalorian series. We did a whole Star Wars series. We've talked about doing
Order 66.
Order 66. I've got to watch the stupid show.
Order 66.
As soon as I watch the show, we will do that episode.
That is.
I have been so busy lately that I have not had time to watch it. I haven't been laying around in bed just chilling, letting my wife take care of me.
Watch some comments down there. That's all I need.
So
Wow.
You still feeling okay, or are you about to crash?
I am really tired, but doing the show gave me a lot of energy. But I am probably going to lay down and see if my wife will bring me anything to bed. Bring me some cookies.
I don't want to know more about that.
Oh,
all right, man. Well, we better sign off.
Yes.
Any last words?
I just appreciate everybody joining in. Thank you for your thoughts, your prayers, your vibes, whatever you want to call it. Oh yes, worst B movies, monsters. Yes, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. Give us, yes. Thank you very much, Vance. Thank you. No, I appreciate everybody.
UFO,
the old TV
yeah.
great UFO. We can really do some really good sci-fi type of stuff.
Oh yeah, we could do not even British. We could just do old sci-fi. I've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Doing a show about old sci-fi shows.
Yeah.
Like we could talk about Twilight Zone, Space 1999.
Yeah.
A few of those other weird ones.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That'd be a cool.
Those are great ideas. Well, hey guys, keep putting comments down below. Let us know what you'd like to hear about. We will definitely take a look at them, and we'll decide if we can talk about them for an hour or not. We'll try to keep Mike poop free as much as possible. And please like, comment, share. Follow us on Facebook and on YouTube. Todd Tolton, thanks for watching us on YouTube. I think everybody else is on Facebook right now.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you.
Nod, nod, wink, wink. There's a Monty Python bit. That's that. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Part of the BBC.
Yep.
Special. Well, I think we're going to call it
right,
good.
Man.
Thank you, everyone. We'll be back on,
We'll see you next Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday night.
Same bat time, same bat channel. 7 p.m. Wednesday nights Central.
Yes.
8 p.m. Eastern. And if you're not Eastern or Central, you can do the math.
Yeah.
Because I'm too tired to do it tonight.
Math's
All
too
right.
hard.
Mike,
All right.
It is great to have you back, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've missed you the last couple of weeks.
Missed you too, friend.
All right, let's do
All
this. This has been the Something About Something podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
And my very good and close friend, Mr. Ricky Poe. I don't think I can hold it in any longer.
Don't get COVID again.
I don't want to.